Our next speaker did a phenomenal job yesterday at teaching us how to communicate through his 20,000 hours in studying human behavior. Let's get a rowdy welcome to invite JJ back up to walk us through this training. Thank you.
Well, I was up at 4 o'clock this morning. I needed to go back to the basics. I needed to use the pencil last night or this morning and to make sure that this is not about me, but this is about Him. And I had to be placed in His hand. And give myself to start over. To which I said, what's the next right thing to do? And I thought, where's my Bible? Where's my Bible? I had to search for my Bible. And it was down at my desk just below, and it had a journal. And it's been a while. So I made myself a cup of coffee. I sat in the chair, light up the light, and I took out this journal. So when was the last time I journaled? Oh, I don't want to share that. Then I remember I got the right to start over with the information I have today. Got my rock. It's like there's also a giant inside that sort of like would kind of need that rock just to, hello. In the journal, it has a scripture in the bottom, and it says, and we know that all things work together for the good to them that love God, to them who are called according to His purpose. How many times have you asked yourself, what's my purpose? What am I here for? We grow up, our parents keeps on asking us, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And when you graduate, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And we just don't know. We just don't know. So I was looking at this, and then I said, well, I'm going to journal. What should I say? Well, good morning, Lord. That's a good start. To you, the honor and the glory of this day, in Jesus' name. Amen. I press unto you, Lord, for your guidance and for your word. See, we get these assignments, and it's easy when we're given the assignment. When I was told you're going to Bosnia, it's not up for debate. It's an order. I got my assignment, spent 3 months training, deployed, came back, debriefed. But what about the unwanted assignment that we get in life? Have you ever come across those assignments? 30th of March, 2018, I'm driving to Field, Ontario. This is a 5.5 hours, well, legally. Right, going all the way up north. Both my parents were diagnosed with cancer within 2 months. Mom had surgery in January of last year and was recuperating, had some complication. And then Dad, about 30 days after, got diagnosed with cancer. It's terminal. They're giving him 6 months. It's the Easter break, so I'm driving up with my family, my son, my daughter, my wife, because this is probably the last time we're going to see Dad. "30th of March. Dad's in a rush. Wants to talk to my son. Wants to talk to my daughter. Wants to talk to my wife. Wants to talk to me." I'm like, what's the rush? What's the rush? You got 6 months. But he's tired. He speaks his mind. As soon as he was done, he goes to bed because he's just tired. And I can see he doesn't have much time left. I don't want this assignment. I don't want Dad to die in the house. I don't want Mom to remember this. Then he's asking me to complete a documentation to assist him to die. But what about this? I can see he's hurting. He's in pain. You don't want your dad to be in pain. So I do all the paperwork. I get his best friends, 2 best friends, to come and agree. I need to present an idea and get buy-in from them to sign that documentation. Because Dad does not want for Mom to suffer through his pain. And I just remember at the end of that day, March 31st, praying, "Lord, don't make this happen. I don't want to send in that documentation. You got to take him. Lord, not on the 1st of April. That's Mom's birthday. Not in the house. On the 1st of April, Mom's downstairs, and she's just bawling. She's at her end, and she says to me, "Jean, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I can't take care of your dad anymore. I can't do it." I says, "Mom, it's okay." I called 911. He was just at his end. They came. They picked him up, and I went and I followed the ambulance and brought him to the hospital. And I just stayed with him. Then I got relieved. And then he got placed. There was just so many rooms, not so many rooms available. And we just knew that the time was coming. We have to make our peace. We have to have strength. And when I take a step back and I look at this, it was an answered prayer. It was an answered prayer that was not going to pass away in the house. That was not going to pass away on the 1st of April. That passed away on the 2nd of April, on Easter Monday. So on Easter Monday, my assignment was to bring the family back home, because my son has to go back to work, my daughter has to go back to school, my wife has to come back home. And we also have relatives, as in my wife's family lives in North Bay, and they haven't seen us on Easter. So on Easter Monday, we stop at my wife's parents, as in Julie's mom. We spend time there. Then I get the phone call. Because you see, when I left field, I went to Sturgeon Falls, saw my dad for the last time, my son, my daughter, and my wife. He recognized me, shook my hand, But by that time, he was now on something stronger than morphine. His eyes were glazed, but he recognized me and he shook my hand. It was a good handshake. And then I just saw that he was in pain. He was just in pain. I said goodbye because I had the assignment. Bring back the family. And in North Bay, I got the phone call. Mom and my brother Luke were there. My dad recognized Mom, smiled, and then his eyes just went up like he was seeing something. I'm listening. Mom said, I think he's gone. Yeah, okay, Mom. I hung up the phone. Didn't say anything. Drove all the way back. It is 5 hours drive from North Bay. Didn't tell anybody. And when we arrived, I informed them. I debriefed. My son, my daughter, my wife, that my dad had passed away. Tomorrow, the assignment is I have to deploy back because I don't want to leave my mom alone on the anniversary, on her birthday, or on my dad's first year anniversary. We have unwanted assignment. Your strength will be found in your lowest trait. If you remember yesterday, I come from this quadrant. I'm dominant, direct, demanding, decisive, determined, doer. That's how God wired me. But right now, I feel so vulnerable because I'm in this quadrant. That's the S quadrant. Supportive, steady, sweet, shy. Status quo. And every time we visit, it just feels so awkward and weird. But His strength will get me through this. Tomorrow, I'll be back at Life Center, which I haven't been for a year. Watching online, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Right? I see my brothers. They know I haven't been there. They know I haven't been there on Wednesday nights. Miss the men. Miss them. You see, when I got the assignment of going to Bosnia, I knew I was not going to die in Bosnia. I don't know why. I just knew I was not going to die in Bosnia. It's not my calling. I'm the first Canadian to go, and I'm going to succeed. I'm going to do what needs to be done. I'm going to win. I'm going to make it happen so that other Canadians can come back and be welcome to do the job. Now, in downtown Atlanta, that's not quite the same thing. I'm like, oh my gosh. I thought I was going to die in Bosnia, but in Atlanta, 9 lines of highways? Oh my gosh. I was with my colleague, Carl Smith. Carl Smith's strong in the S quadrant, right? He's like so strong, and I learned so much from him, and vice versa. One day we were traveling in downtown Atlanta, and he has this little Porsche. I don't fit in a Porsche. I don't fit, and I got all my trainer gear with me, and I got to fit in, and now I'm not driving, he's driving, and as he's driving, he's looking at me and says, JJ, yeah? How can I be a better friend to you? A guy does not ask another guy, how can I be a better friend to you? I want to smack him. That's what I want to do. But he's driving, and he should keep his eye on the road. See, we've been training for 3 days. This is a privilege. This podium is a privilege. It's not meant for therapy. Carl has been going through a divorce for 3 years. For 3 years he's been divorced, but he's been reliving it. He's been so hard. He wasn't using the eraser. You've got the right to start over. I don't understand the whole process. But when he asked me, how can I be a better friend to you? I snapped at him. I just said, just get better. It's turning into therapy. Stop referring to your ex as your ex and refer to her as your spouse if you have to make a point. She's not an ex, she's your former spouse. Just get better. In the sense that he was not a blessing anymore. It became about a therapy session. I never want that to be. This is a privileged platform. A month had passed and I was still ticked off by being asked that question. So I mentored up. I talked to Dr. Rome and he goes, why are you so upset? It's just a nice question. He wants to be a friend. If the army wanted me to have friends, they would have issued me friend. I don't want to be a friend. I don't want to know how to make a friend. I don't want to have anything to do with it. Why? Because that's a word that doesn't resonate with me. A friend, for the task-oriented, we call them colleagues. Or an acquaintance. You're just an acquaintance. Well, no, you're more than an acquaintance. You're a good acquaintance. But to get the F, we're going to have to walk a certain amount of time together. I was still upset until one day a colleague comes to the office, a brother in Christ, so he's a brother, Jim Carty. And Jim's in the office, and he's sitting down, and we're talking about business. I say, Jim, can I ask you a personal question? To which Jim said, sure. Now, Jim is from the I quadrant. Inspiring, inducing, influencing, interactive. Like, he's prone to SOS disease. Shiny object syndrome. Squirrel! What? Right? Doesn't want to miss out on anything. So I'm talking to Jim, and I said, Jim, I'm just curious. How can I be a better friend to you? And Jim starts laughing. Are you serious? Yes. Jim, I want to know, how can I be a better friend to you? Now, Jim is sitting down. And when I said, yes, I'm serious, he goes down. Now, as a trained interrogator, this is a submissive position. He goes down, he goes towards his left, which is internal dialogue, which means that he's probably repeating the question, how can I be a better friend? And then he's moving to the right, which when he goes down towards the right, that's more that there's an emotion attached to this. Now, I'm looking at the nonverbal cues. You cannot not communicate. I'm like, ooh, there's power in the question. Because you cannot not communicate, and I'm looking at this and what is actually happening. And then I'm seeing myself, I'm going to use this at training one day. And Jim came out of it and looked at me, and he said, make me more accountable. Jim was going left and right. All he needed from me is like, stay the course, buddy. Stay the course. Yeah, I know, come back. No, come back. Just stay the course. Got a plan, just stay the course. Got a lot of these shinies. That's what he needs from me. That's the only thing that he needs from me. He needs from me to make him more accountable. Stay focused, buddy, you can do it. There's power in the question. Then I wonder if it would work with my son. I wonder, right? So I said to Joel, we're alone in the kitchen. I'm making him one of his favorite meals, which is Indian cuisine or curry. If you've been trained in the UK, they eat a lot of curry. That's their fast food, and that's where I developed that taste and love cooking it. So I'm making his favorite dish. I'm sitting at the end of the table, and he's right there on my right. Now, he's very strong in that C quadrant, so I can't sneak up and just surprise him, and I got to give him time to reflect and think things through. And so I said to Joel, can I ask you a personal question? It's okay, you can reflect on it. You don't have to answer me right now. You can sleep on it. I'm just curious, can I ask you a serious question? He's eating. Yeah, what's your question? That's not going to work, right? I don't have any attention. Hey, it's okay. We can talk about this another time. I just want to know if I could ask you a serious question. Yeah, what's your question? I'm just curious, Joe. How can I be a better father to you? The fork drops. He goes down to a submissive position. He repeats the question, or he's talking to himself, and then he's going over there, and he's going left to right, right to left, and it's like, it's taking forever. To which I'm thinking, he's going to ask me for a car. He gets out of it, looks at me, and says, spend more time with me. Oh, man, was I missing the boat? Spend more time with me? That's what you need from me? I thought it was to give and produce and just equip. And all he's wanting is some quality time with Dad. See, what you don't know is that when I was at university, I had a fight with my dad, and I left university and I joined the military. The military was an exit strategy because I didn't like the assignment. Now, I had time to patch it up in regards to Dad, but I was out of control in regards to my temperament style. But I did not know that my temperament style, how God wired me, was fit to be in the military. You see, I did 5 years in the combat arms. That's Royal 22nd Regiment, and 15 within the intelligence branch. I was a new breed in the infantry. It was bigger, stronger, bilingual, computer literate. I was a new soldier. It takes you 8 years to becoming a sergeant in the infantry if you just do what you're told to do. I did it in 3 years and 10 months. Blessing and a curse at the same time. Blessing, you're the new breed. Yes. A curse with the old guard. You haven't done your time. See? So I was reflecting this morning. I thought I did all my crying this morning. There's more to come out. God collects tears? Who said that? God collects tears? Well, I thought he had 2 buckets this morning. Yeah. So I was discerning, okay, Lord, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to, because I have a plan, but is it your plan? But this, Romans 8, verses 28, to them who are called according to his purpose. It took me so long to know my purpose. What is my ministry? And then I got reminded of a quote, acquire wisdom, and with your acquiring, get understanding. Proverbs 4, verses 7. And just to get additional confirmation, by wisdom a house is built, and by understanding it is established. Proverbs 24, verses 5. So, what am I called to do today? I'm called to teach. To teach and to assist you in understanding your calling and your purpose in life.